Rust is a car owner's worst nightmare.
Today we brought in real mechanics to diagnose the rustiest cars we could find on TikTok.
And see if there's any hope for these rusty souls.
First clip!
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's worse than my square body. Yeah, I thought I had the rustiest, but never mind. My name is Brett. I work on rust buckets every day in the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas. It's like that thing was under an ocean.
Right next to the Titanic. It probably was used to drag around boats.
Totally multiple boats.
Look at the wheels. Look at the rims. Even those things are rusty.
Yeah.
Before I moved out here to the sunshine state of California, I was working on cars back home in New York, where we have winters. Look at the floor.
That is a replacement floor.
That is a replacement vehicle.
Steel's worst enemy is moisture. When moisture, water, oxygen, steel react, it literally eats away the metal. Those holes that used to be steel, no longer steel.
Next clip.
Whoa.
Yuck.
This is like scary rust right here.
Oh!
You're not supposed to be able to poke your finger through the frame.
I call that a turd wagon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, very nice. Turd wagon.
See, that's an example of a Northeast car. The winters just beat up the bottom of your car. You could see, like, the rocker panel. That's where all that moisture just stayed a year after year. I mean, that's probably a 2010.
Not everywhere dumps salt on the roads, but if they do, salt makes a car rust real bad.
Yeah.
You sandblast a car to remove paint. If you do that with salt on the road, kind of does the same thing, and when you have the bare metal exposed with the elements, it starts to rust.
How do you prevent something like this?
Get a car wash every single day.
Every day?
Every single day.
Every day?
Every day.
The only preventive measure you can do is you could spray wax into these cavities and then keep washing the car out, but basically just keep washing the salt and grime off as best as you can.
It's not uncommon to buy a car from anywhere in the country and just have it shipped to wherever you are. Look at where you're buying the car because that car could have seen salty roads its whole life.
Yeah, I bought a van last year. I was trying to make it into a race van and I didn't realize there's so much rust on the subframe and it kind of snapped in half as I was driving.
Classic race van problem.
Yeah.
What kind of van was it?
Nissan Quest.
It was on a quest to die.
This is being a unibody car. The rocker and everything else is a part of that safety structure of the car. So if you ever get into a side impact, there's nothing there, you're gonna die. That little hole there, that's the interior. That's probably where the seat mounts. So eventually you will fall out of this car and die.
So it's not just cosmetic.
No, the structure of this car is compromised. Get yourself another car.
It's a matter of life and death. Next clip. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, she's talking to me.
Oh.
Oh.
Is that a car twerk?
Yeah, that car is sassy.
Wow.
What happened to it? What happened to my van last year? That subframe in the back probably just snapped.
Every issue that we've seen here, Brett's van has experienced.
Where the subframe mounts to the body is gone. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing the subframe just moving independently from the body of the car.
All your wheels and everything kind of connect to it in the back, all your suspension and everything. And if there's any damage to that subframe, then nothing's gonna work right.
A subframe is usually two pieces. It's a front subframe versus a rear subframe. So it's independent, and in between there's usually a unibody car. There's no actual frame that holds the two halves together other than the body. The subframe you can replace fairly easy, but in this case, the connecting points for the subframe to hold itself into the body of the car is gone. Your subframe holds your tires, your suspension, and all this stuff that keeps you on the road. I don't think you should be trying to repair this.
Dash cam setups can be a bit complicated and messy, but with today's sponsor, Dongar, you'll get an easy, no-mess setup in seconds. Dongar adapters work by converting your rearview mirror power into USB power for a neat, out-of-sight install. And you don't have to be a wiring expert, just follow these 5 simple steps. Step 1, turn off the vehicle. Step 2, locate your rear view mirror connector. Step 3, connect the Dongar adapter between the mirror and the wiring harness. Step 4, connect your dash cam. And step 5, make sure it turns on when you turn on the vehicle. Hell yeah. Go to dongar.tech/donut and get a stress-free, clean-looking dash cam setup in your vehicle today.
All right, next clip. Friggin' jet
Okay, so they got a
tire
claw
iron.
hammer, they got a tire iron, then a wrench that goes to like a water valve turn off. Then we got some piping. We got a exhaust clamp. Then we come over here. I don't know what these are. Then you come up over here, and we got like a pike.
Someone was drunk when they did this.
That's a prime example of I need to fix this truck with whatever I got laying
Okay,
around.
so he's got a tire iron, he's got a water valve, he's got a couple of bolts and flat pieces of steel. You weld as good as this guy?
Oh no, that's mint.
How would you rate these welds?
Oh man, I would give a 1. If I could get anything less than that, it would be less than that.
Negative boogers?
Look, like there's some boogers that don't even go in. It's just hanging.
Worst ever. Next clip.
You know you in a Subaru when your rear shock towers are completely gone.
I'd say that's totaled.
That's so bad. 'Cause that's a structural part, right? That's supposed to be able to support those 3 bolts on that shock, and literally it's all gone.
So the shocks are designed to keep the wheel on the ground, and the spring is to kind of push against it and also help with like load. This is a unibody vehicle where all the panels are glued together, and because there's 2 giant rust holes on each side, this vehicle is sagging on the sides. Even if you would put a piece of metal there, you'd probably never drive straight. It'd probably drive sideways. This thing is a rust bucket.
What would cause the shock towers to rust out like that?
When manufacturers weld cars together, they use a spot welder. So it's not welded straight across, it's just kind of pinched in certain places, and then they seal it up with seam sealer.
So it's
And
like
it stays in
multiple
there.
pieces of metal, kind of like for strength.
And then the moisture gets in between those layers and just kind of eats itself inside out.
Are there any cars that come to mind that are more like prone to rusting?
Pontiac G6, Ford Taurus, my truck at 82 square body. Any square body really.
Nissan Quest.
Yeah, Nissan Quest.
Yeah.
Most brands would do this, you know, 'cause especially a Japanese car, they use thinner material.
In Japan, your taxes go up for
Yes.
the more mileage you have.
Yes.
So they get new cars a lot more often.
Yeah, they're not too concerned about rust because they won't have it that long for it to rust out.
Next, rusty clip.
This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is why you do not let a car sit. This car has been sitting for 10 plus years, and this is rubber, this is metal. Like, just take a look over here. This is metal. That's rubber.
First of all, don't store a car outdoors on grass or dirt.
Make sure it's lifted off the ground, typically on jack stands.
The moisture from the dirt will always wick itself up into the car and store it on a concrete pavement. Wash it ever so often, get some of the dirt and dust off of it because that also, dust becomes like mud. Don't let it just sit in one spot. Move it around, hose it off, get a leaf blower, dry it off once in a while.
Cars replaced horses, so you kind of gotta treat them like a horse.
I've never leaf blowered a horse before.
Rinse them off.
Leaving your car still in one spot can make all the wheel bearings go bad because it can cause flat spots inside the bearings too. So if you're not driving it, you're not getting that lubrication through there and you can have all your wheel bearings go bad.
You can also use a car cover, but again, car covers, you have to take them off occasionally.
Yeah.
Don't let a car sit underneath a car cover for too long because again, it will trap moisture in between the cover.
Yeah.
And make sure when you buy a car cover, there's 2 different types. There's indoor and outdoor. Buy the outdoor one if it's staying outside.
There's really no set it and forget it option. You gotta check on it every once in a while.
Yep.
You gotta still take care of it, you know what I'm saying?
They now have these big bubbles that you can put over cars now too. There's videos where you can like throw ladders on top of them. Those are really good to protect your car from the elements as well.
Create a nice, comfortable environment for your car. Okay, it deserves it. Next clip.
Things that you know are covered in your $6,000 spray undercoating job.
Okay.
Maybe brush undercoating. Is that your drive shafts are thoroughly painted.
Yep.
Starter winds up completely coated.
Oh my
a big
God.
rust point, you know. And the oil pan kind of shed a little bit of weight. I think It just lost it, you know. That $6,000 paint job holds up real good over
Who the hell's paying $6,000 to get rust proofing on the bottom of their truck?
Back in the East, there used to be a service that like car washes and whatnot. They would put your car up in the air and then they would spray like a rubberized undercoating.
They spray painted a lot of things they shouldn't have, and they didn't spray paint things they should have.
Don't spray the exhaust.
Because it's rubber on a hot thing.
Don't spray the drive shaft.
Because that spins.
This is definitely done Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go home.
It's either you don't know or you don't care. Either way, we have a problem.
Yeah. You know, you think you're protected now, but then he didn't spray the rockers. He didn't spray some of the critical points. Like, yeah, see, that's already rusting.
You can see the cutoff.
You think you're protected, so you have this false sense of security. So you're just like, oh, I'm good. I spent $6,000 on this thing.
Even if you do it right, if it gets any sort of damage, water gets trapped inside the paint in between the metal. It can cause it to rust even faster versus you had not sprayed it to begin with. That's why I recommend just getting a car wash once a day. That prevents that from ever happening.
Bring it to someone who knows what they're doing. This is definitely a blotch job.
According to AAA, rust causes over $3 billion worth of damage every year in the US alone. It's no wonder that people are looking for solutions beyond protective sprays and paints. So let's see if the miracle product in this next clip is any good.
So one of the biggest scams in the automotive world is boxes. Electronic corrosion controls. Now their theory is that if they run a steady little current through your whole car, that it won't rust. Baloney.
Baloney.
He wanted to say another word.
Yeah.
This kid's in the
They
room.
cost about $11 to make. The Lexus dealers, they're selling them for over $1,000.
What?
It is a scam. Do not use it.
What the is this guy talking about?
I've never seen this particular product. This definitely is a scam though, because you can't just fight away rust with an electric current. You would come out of your car and your hair would be standing up the whole time.
Don't scam people out of money. That's not very nice. Don't use this product. Very bad.
In this next clip, the poster said they bought a used car from a dealership and 3 months later they heard a noise from the rear suspension. Let's see what they found.
All right, we got a rusty car. Oh. There you go. Oh, man. Oh, no. No.
Okay, so this person bought a used car from a dealership.
A dealership doesn't take in a car and fix all the stuff.
No.
They don't do that.
Looks like the subframe disconnected from the vehicle, and the mounts where the subframe is supposed to connect are completely destroyed. So this car is no longer drivable anymore ever again.
So I guess the moral is look underneath the car before you buy a car.
It's an expensive thing. You should look at all the stuff.
Yeah, you're spending your hard-earned money. Check the bottom of the car.
Yeah, I think this person's presenting as if they got ripped off, but like...
Yeah, I've learned my lesson the hard way. No vehicles are really that bad unless if it's got rust.
Right.
Surface rust is cool because you can just sand it down and put something over it to prevent it from rusting anymore. But when it's solid through rust, that's when it's irreparable like this vehicle.
If you're just quickly glancing over the car, look underneath. The rocker panels and where the pinch weld is primarily where that is. Where
It starts spreading.
It
like
starts to spread, yeah. And it starts like, you could see it like kind of swelling. Your pinch welds look like a croissant.
You don't want.
Now this next clip is from everyone's favorite, definitely reputable source of car hacks, 5-Minute Crafts. Let's see if it's legit. Okay, scrubbing. All right, taking a wire wheel to...
He's taking off the surface rust, which is okay.
Yeah.
Solvent.
Okay, wipe her down. Nice, looks good.
Okay. Oh, he's doing a little paint job here. Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Good.
The rust wasn't that bad. It was just surface rust, so he cleaned it off with a wire wheel, cleaned it off as best as he could, and sprayed a protective coating over it. Something that's already into the metal, you would have to go a little deeper than a wire wheel. You'd have to either sandblast it and do like a conversion primer or whatever. But surface rust is just pretty much on the surface. You could kind of get it off very easily and then spray it with some sort of protective coating.
It's just a temporary fix because you can see it's painted and it still has rust on top of the paint, and they just put more paint on top of the rusty paint.
I've seen some products out there, rust converters. Are you familiar with those?
Yeah, Rust-Oleum, I believe, has
Yeah, they have
spray.
they have a rust converter.
I would just recommend just pure acetone.
So what parts are okay to have like a little bit of surface rust?
Drum brakes, because that's a pretty thick material and it's gonna get hot. That's fine. The body's okay with surface rust. You see a bunch of those out here. People call them patina, right? So that's okay.
We have a patina. We have a 52 Imperial outside.
Yeah, it's nicer to say patina than I look at my rusty car.
Right. I named Nolan's car Patina Turner.
Patina Turner.
Or Patina Fay. This next clip features a futuristic way of removing rust that's becoming more common in shops all over the world. We made an entire video about it on our other channel. Let's see why. It's so sick.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, you never seen a rust laser?
I've seen it, but I've never seen it in person.
Yeah, man.
Is it cool?
And the sound is so sick.
Is it hot?
What happens when you put it on
It's
your
like
arm?
the most boy thing ever. That's what it sounds like. So with a $20,000 to $50,000 price tag for this bad boy, do you think it's worth it?
If you have a piece that's irreplaceable and you need to take off some of the rust without actually removing some material, I think it's great.
It's a pretty cool tool, and it does work. If you want to see mechanics react to even more automotive nightmares, click right here. Brett, thank you so much for coming.
Soupy, thank you as always for being here. And if you want to see our laser rust video, click here. Bye.
See you later.